Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, I'm Zach Sexton.
And I'm Abby Avers. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News.
The federal government is no longer partially shut down. Tuesday, the White House passed a sweeping spending bill to end the partial government shutdown. President Donald Trump is expected to sign the bill quickly, ending the shutdown after 3 days. But the deal only temporarily funds the Department of Homeland Security, creating another funding deadline in just 2 weeks. The vote marks a hard-fought win for President Trump and House Speaker Mike Johnson. They'd pushed GOP lawmakers to back the measure despite some resistance.
In Governor Kevin Stitt's final State of the State address, he discussed getting rid of the Oklahoma Secondary School Activities Association. Stitt claimed that OSSAA makes the transfer process difficult for student athletes. Oklahoma's new transfer process helps students transfer out of schools districts that are failing. Stitt emphasized that OSSAA is a private organization and that, quote, the current system I see doesn't work towards eligibility and doesn't have transparency, end quote. The state superintendent Lyndall Fields said that if OSSAA gets eliminated, he will run it as beautifully as we can. OSSAA's executive director David Jackson responded to Stitt's speech, saying, while we are disappointed that Governor Stitt did not reach out to learn more about how this OSSAA operates, we welcome the opportunity to visit with him at any time.
In North Edmond and Logan County, a 16-year-old has been charged with first-degree murder, unauthorized removal of a dead body, and desecration of a human corpse. Friday the 30th of January, Logan County District Court charged 16-year-old Jordan Weems as an adult. Jordan Weems' victim was his adoptive mother, Spring Weems. Her body was found after someone called 911 for an altercation between two individuals outside the home. According to the court documents, she was murdered by being beat with a hammer. The documents also say that Spring and her ex-husband have 2 biological children, in addition to 2 other children they adopted 11 years ago.
Now, it was a chilly one outside today. Phil, how's it looking out there right now?
It is looking pretty beautiful, maybe even deceptively beautiful right now. Mostly sunny, 56 degrees out there. Little bit of cloud cover, sometimes kind of blocking the sun out, making it feel just a little bit chillier out there. But pretty good weather right now for our Bronco baseball boys. They're underway right now. Winds out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Humidity at 44%, so not really an issue. Feels like temperature at 56 degrees, but it definitely feels colder when the sun hides behind the clouds and that wind gets gusting up on you. Definitely a good day to still have a hoodie in the car. Taste of spring is coming in the coming days, though. Temperatures are going to be going up towards the end of this week. We got a chance of rain and winter mix overnight tonight, though, so definitely keep an eye on that. That's been bumped up from 20% to 40%. Might get a little bit of bad weather. And then car washing weather this weekend. Like I said, temps are going to go up. Smiles abound, sunshine. It's going to be a good one. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Phil. Oklahoma Highway Patrol leaders are asking the state for help as the agency struggles with a growing shortage of troopers. Currently, about 760 troopers cover the 77 counties, forcing some officers to patrol multiple counties at once. This issue has led to longer shifts, increased on-call hours, and slower response times. The agency wants to add 150 troopers over the next 18 months and is requesting nearly $26 million to cover training and equipment costs. Officials say adding staff would reduce burnout and improve public safety across Oklahoma.
Governor Kevin Stitt is calling for medical marijuana in Oklahoma to be voted on with the hopes to shut down the industry, stating one of the biggest threats to public safety is the out-of-control medical marijuana industry.
When Oklahomans voted to legalize medical marijuana in 2018, we were sold a bill of goods. Out-of-state liberal activists preyed on the compassionate nature of Oklahomans. Then it opened up Pandora's box. Now we have more dispensaries than we do pharmacies. Think about that. These storefronts hide an industry that enables cartel activity, human trafficking, and foreign influence in our state.
This all is following new Oklahoma law SB 320, passing on November 1st, upping regulations for medical marijuana in Oklahoma.
This Friday, Deer Creek High School, in collaboration with UCO's Mass Communication Department, Dead Center Film, Oklahoma City Community College, and Rose State University, will be hosting their first annual High School Film Day. Dr. Megan Cox, coordinator of this event, is excited about bringing the film industry to over 300 high school students.
On February 6th, next Friday, we will be having a film day event at Deer Creek High School. We are going to get to talk to more than 300 students, interact with them. We've got tables from Cherokee Film, Oklahoma Latin Film Association. We have OCCC, Rose State, all coming out, and some of those, and Dead Center Film. And they will be giving workshops for those students during the day, covering things like lighting and sound and acting and directing. And they'll just file through all day long. And Chick-fil-A Deer Creek is sponsoring our volunteers lunches, so it's a kind of a whole community event.
Warmer temperatures are returning this week, and I'm sure the state of Oklahoma is very excited.
I have no doubt about it. This weekend is looking amazing. Phil Rodriguez will have your full look at weather when we come back.
And here's our full look at weather, Broncos. The current conditions, we've got about 56, 55 degrees, starting to fall a little bit. Sun started hiding behind some clouds a little bit ago and it hasn't popped out, but maybe it'll return. We might see a little bit more sun before it sets. Feels like 56, definitely colder when that wind picks up and when the sun gets hidden behind those clouds though. But in the coming days, taste of spring coming, more warm weather, going to be kind of like how it was around Christmas, 70 degrees during the day, lots of sunshine. But tonight and tomorrow morning, keep an eye on the weather, keep an eye on the roads. We've got a chance of some rain, wintry mix, some snow, sleet. Could make the roads a little bit hazardous, so definitely something to keep an eye on. But like I said, later on this week, car washing weather. It's going to be sunny, brilliant, and bright. Currently across the state, coldest temperature 43 up in the northeast, Miami, 56 in Oklahoma City, 57 down in Ardmore, 53 in Guyman up there in the Panhandle. Tonight, we're looking at mostly cloudy in Edmond, 31 degrees for the low, so right on the edge of freezing. If we do end up getting that precipitation, like they said, we might have about a 40% chance. That could ice up the roads a little bit. Keep an eye on that. Humidity, 44%, wind's going to be about the same, so just keep an eye on that possible wintry weather mix, because across the state tonight, unless you're in Ardmore, Altus, or Idabel, you are below freezing. 31 degrees in Oklahoma City, 27 way up in Miami, 30 in Enid, 29 in Guyman. Gonna be a cold one. Tomorrow morning, chance of wintry mix, 34 degree low, 45 by noon. Sun's gonna be poking out, and then 33 degrees at night, sunset at 6 p.m. Highs across the state, 49 Oklahoma City, 53 up in Guyman, and then your weekly forecast. This is what you wanted to see. We got 70s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just like Casey and the Sunshine Band, 70s funk and sunshine. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Phil. I'm definitely looking forward to that warmer weather. I know my dog is. He hates this cooler weather. Any plans?
Well, I'm really looking forward to riding my bike. I can't decide if I'm going to Hafer Park or if I'm going to go to Lake Hefner, but it's going to be somewhere, Abby.
Period.
Thank you, Phil. Coming up, what are some of the bills for vote during the Oklahoma legislative session?
And how can these bills impact Oklahomans? Valerie will have all of those answers after the break.
Rugged, rough, built for the road ahead. Sometimes I feel like a shell of a man. Commercials are fake. What you're feeling isn't. Call or text 988, Oklahoma's mental health lifeline.
Did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward, daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the third largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Hello, I am Valerie Scott, and today we are going over the state of the state. Yesterday, Governor Kevin Stitt had his last State of the State address. In his address, Stitt listed his top priorities for the state of Oklahoma during this legislative session. Let's go ahead and break them down, Broncos. Stitt touched on his plan for zero income tax in Oklahoma. He blamed legislators' veto for the stall in this process. Eliminating state income tax has several pros and cons for Oklahomans. The pros include paying less in income taxes overall, which can boost financial health, tax filing will be easier, and it can increase the state's population growth. The cons include potential rise in property taxes, less spending towards education and infrastructure, and a potential higher cost of living. Next, Stitt wants a comprehensive reform on welfare and Medicaid accessibility. On January 26th, he signed an executive order to have state agencies review Oklahoma government assistance programs. Here's what he had to say.
Number one, all laws should apply equally to all Oklahomans, no exceptions. An Indian named Kevin Stitt shouldn't be treated differently than a single mom of a different race. If you commit a crime in Oklahoma, you should be prosecuted by a duly elected Oklahoma district attorney.
Legislative changes to this executive order will take place in the next 180 days. Stitt also touched on sending a state question to Oklahoma voters on freezing property taxes. Currently, property taxes in Oklahoma are rising. Stitt said this is due to Oklahoma becoming a top 10 state. A property tax would prevent future increases even if tax rates and property values rise. During his address, Governor Stitt discussed policies regarding tribal sovereignty as well. Here's a clip of what was discussed.
Number one, all laws should apply equally to all Oklahomans, no exceptions. An Indian named Kevin Stitt shouldn't be treated differently than a single mom of a different race. If you commit a crime in Oklahoma, you should be prosecuted by a duly elected Oklahoma district attorney. You should be tried in an Oklahoma court overseen by a duly elected Oklahoma judge. And you should be protected by the rights laid out in the Oklahoma Constitution. Your race shouldn't call any of these factors into question. Number three, if you live in Oklahoma, if you drive on Oklahoma roads, you attend Oklahoma schools, you vote in Oklahoma elections, you absolutely should not have different tax treatment than any other Oklahoman. These things shouldn't be controversial.
Governor Stitt's comments come after years of dealing with the aftermath of McGirt versus Oklahoma Supreme Court's decision, which held a 5-4 tribal lands have not been disestablished in Oklahoma by Congress. Therefore, the Major Crimes Act cannot be enforced on what is legally considered Indian country. And that's all I have for you today, Broncos. Zach, Abby, back to you.
Thank you, Valerie. Coming up, which NBA players are moving teams?
And what are the UCO campus's Super Bowl predictions? Emily Creekmore will have more after the break.
Sometimes it makes everything funny. Sometimes it's nothing to laugh about. Weed. It's funny like that. And unlike alcohol, with marijuana, there's no legal limit. So even if you don't feel high, you could get a DUI. No matter how much weed you've had, don't get behind the wheel, because driving impaired is illegal. And that's no joke.
Hooves up, roll Chos. Today's a great day to cheer on the Broncos.
Welcome back to the Pain Train.
Okay, Sean, here's your final question. A train hitting your car is the same as your car hitting a boulder, a brick wall, or a soda pop can.
A brick wall?
At a whopping 20 million pounds, a train will crush your car like a pop can.
Oh. Beating a train? It's a game you can't win.
Welcome back, Broncos. I'm Emily Creekmore, and I've got your Tuesday sports update. The UCO track and field team finished a successful trip to Pittsburg State this past Saturday, achieving several top 10 finishes. The Broncos' best finish of the day came from Dariah Lee for her third-place finish in the 600-yard race. Lee later teamed with McKenna Huston, Gabia Puksas, and Rita Ogine in the 4x400 relay, finishing 8th as a team. Charis Phillips also had a strong individual finish, placing 9th at the triple jump event. The Broncos have this weekend off before returning to Pittsburg State on February 13th to compete in the Russ Jewett Indoor Classic. Now over to the softball fields. The number 11 ranked UCO softball team are currently wrapping up their final game of the Branson Leadoff Classic. UCO finished the first 5 games of their season tournament opener going 4-1. The Broncos won their first 2 games on Monday before splitting Tuesday's games 1-1. Earlier today, the Broncos lost their game against Missouri S&T. Central is currently finishing out the tournament against McKendree. The Broncos have a couple days off before they return around to host their own tournament this weekend, beginning on Friday. And with the NBA trade deadline approaching rapidly this Thursday, the league is shaking up with several teams making big deals. The first major deal of the day involves 2-time All-Star and former Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr., being traded out of Memphis to the Utah Jazz in exchange for Walter Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, Georges Niang, and 3 future first-round picks. Utah also received John Conchar, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams Jr. Also, the Chicago Bulls and Boston Celtics are swapping picks with players, and the Bulls trading center Nikola Vucevic and a second-round pick to the Celtics for guard Anfernee Simons and a second-round pick. The Bulls also shook up more of their roster, with the Bulls taking part in a 3-team trade with Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley heading to Chicago. The Pistons are receiving Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric, and the Timberwolves getting a first-round pick swap, and most importantly, dropping under the first apron. I'm sure this is just the beginning of a lot of surprising trades. There will definitely be more to come before the deadline approaches this Thursday. And today I went around UCO's campus and asked students who they think is going to win the Super Bowl this Sunday. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
I think it's going to be the Seahawks because I just love Seattle. That's the only reason.
The Seahawks.
I'm going to stay on the safe side and say the Seahawks.
Patriots.
Seahawks.
Okay, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
Seahawks.
Who do you think is going to win? I think that I'm going to have to go with the popular, obvious choice, the Seahawks, considering that my Chiefs didn't make it this year. I don't know, Zach, Abby, do you agree?
Well, I guess I'm going to go with the Seahawks since that's a popular choice. Zach?
Well, I'm going to go with the Seahawks. The Patriots already have 7. I think the Seahawks can go up to 2, but thank you, Emily. Coming up, find out all the details on UCO's Black History Month events.
And Phil will have your last look at weather after the break.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move to meet our students where they are and get them where they want to go. Over time, thousands of students have made the move to UCO. They come to pursue their passions and find their calling, to improve their lives, families, and communities. UCO moves and motivates students in and out of the classroom. Here, potential takes flight. Our students' curiosity ignites a spark that fuels transformation. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the university that hasn't stopped moving since 1890. In fact, we are gaining momentum.
This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here.
Wait.
What?
I can't drive.
Why?
I'm high.
Oh.
The University of Central Oklahoma is celebrating Black History Month throughout February with a series of events themed Black Beyond Boundaries. The theme honors the creativity, resilience, and lasting impact of the Black community across culture, faith, innovation, and leadership. The month kicks off Wednesday, February 4th at 2 p.m. in the Nye University Center's Constitution Hall, featuring a keynote from Apostle Ricky Hunt Sr., who will speak on faith, purpose, and perseverance. Other events throughout the month include a gospel explosion, trivia night, and an esports night, and campus-wide mazing race and a modern reimagining of the Harlem Renaissance. All events are open to students and the campus community.
Well, unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. I'm Abby Avers.
And I'm Zach Sexton. Have a good night.